So cell programming is simple a text file where you have to put all your commands, Unix commands, in a sequential order. Okay, in a sequential order, and it will be executed from the sequentially from the top to end. Okay, and cell programming actually is, as I told before, it is an interpreted language. Cell programming is an interpreted language, not like our C or C++ or Java, which are the compiled languages. Okay, so interpreted means it will interpret the entire script line by line. Okay, means suppose you have written in the first line to print something, and the second line to execute something, and the third line to display some other items. Okay, so what will do, it will first print your name, then execute the other command, then it will come down and down, then this. So what happens, it will do sequentially one after another. Okay, when you write a shell script, it always you have to specify the interpreter name, which interpreter you are going to use. So let me simply create one small file, first shell script file. So how you can write, so this in this programming I will just use entirely vi editor, so that what will happen, we'll learn both vi editor, how to use vi editor, as well as how we can write the shell script. Okay, so I'm just going to use vi editor here, vi, then suppose give the shell programming shell script file name, what kind of shell script you are going to use. So suppose I'm going to use test script, any name you can give based on your project, sh. So it should be end with dot sh or dot ksh, means console, sh is bus cell, ksh is console, and csh is c cell. Okay, so I'm going to use bus cell, so I'm just type it here, test script dot sh, enter. Then as I told you, when you start your script, it should start with a line that is called Shebang line. So there will be questions like Shebang line. What is this Shebang line for? You have to write with hash and exclamation. Okay, hash and exclamation. That's called Shebang line, and it will start with win bus. So I'm just giving the which terminal I'm going to execute the commands, whatever, or the instructions, whatever going to write. It's actually a set of instructions what needs to be executed in the cell script. Okay, now if you want to use a different terminal, different cell, you can write ksh, or similarly you can write csh. Okay, so I'm using bus, so I used the Shebang line, that is called Shebang line bus. So when you execute the shell script, it will first see this line, and it will find like yes, and it is you want to execute this with the bus cell prompt. So if the bus cell, so it will be execute all this in the bus cell itself. Okay, now simple.
So Ranjit, sorry actually. Uh, sometimes I observe like without this line also the shell script will execute, no?
Exactly.
If
So
you're
yeah, so by default it will take bus cell default.
by default. Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
Mm.
so this line called the which Shebang line, but actually what is the purpose actually? I just missed actually that
Yeah,
part you explained.
yeah, it is. So it, what is the purpose? It is, you are giving the instructions to the script, right, to execute in which cell prompt you want to execute that one. So it is actually the interpreter line, that is called interpreter Shebang line or interpreter line. So it will, as no, right, cell scripting is an interpreted language, right? So
Hmm.
which interpreter you are going to use, or which cell you are going to use. Suppose you don't specify this line, what will happen, by default it will take your, suppose let me,
Current cell which you
current
are
cell. Suppose we are our current cell is bus. So
the bus cell.
if I don't specify, then by default it will take the current cell, that is bus cell. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
so if you want to run, even though you are in the bus cell, okay, if you want to run as if you guys run as corn cell, what you have to write? You have to write ksh, because your
Yes.
default cell is bash. If you don't specify anything, all this it will be executed in the bash cell. Now you will be thinking, what is the difference bash and kss? There are few differences, not exactly many differences or more differences are there. There are few differences, few commands what are be running in the bash, it may not run in the ksh. The ways I can tell you one examples, like in the arrays, if you see in the command and the programming array, right? Array classes, if you write in SSH array, if you declare an RSS declaration in bash is different than in KSH. Okay, and there are a few
Okay.
variable declarations which will be different in bash and different in KSH. Okay, not exactly.
So mostly,
Yeah,
so mostly Ranjit, using bash, na, all
yeah,
about means most
yeah, mostly used,
widely used.
widely used bash cell. Okay,
Mhm.
widely used.
And one more doubt actually I have actually.
Yeah,
We are putting hash. Hash means in shell script because I know little.
yeah,
So
it is comment.
hash means it's commented line.
Yes.
But actually, whether our shell it's interpreting the commented line also everything.
No, no, that's a good question.
So then in yeah,
So if you see here, okay, let me
mhm.
write one comment here. Suppose
Uh-huh.
I'll write a comment here has, this is to display, this is to display the name. Okay, so I can say echo. Okay, then I can give a comment, display the date. So the date. So if I can say date, I just did give a date. So if you see it here, the difference here, I'm using here has, after that giving exclamation. That is not right. So this line, if you put anything line with has and exclamation, that the cell prompt, that cell script will treat as a Shebang line or an interpreter line. So see, if the without exclamation, it will be treated as comment. So this line is a comment.
Okay, okay,
This line is a
okay,
comment.
okay.
So this line is a comment, but this line is an interpreter line, is a Shebang line. That's called has not, has exclamation is a Shebang character. That's called Shebang character. Okay, now you saw this self prompt will execute this one first and check the interpreter, which interpreter you are going to execute, and then it will just ignore this line because it is commented, and then it will display this line and then execute this command. So what you saw here, echo is a command also. What it does, it is executing this command, and what it command does, it simply print the output or result, on date command will display the date of the system. Okay, so let's see. So now we created a simple file called test.test script.sh. So we have simply just given only two lines and a few commented comment lines, and given two lines called two commands, echo command and date command. So I'll use this script to entirely finish the shell scripting, and I'll just keep adding the things in the shell scripting, and in one shell script will entirely finish the shell programming. Okay, now the basics you saw how to create a and how to start writing a shell script. Now the thing is how to execute the shell script. That's most important, right? Now see, when I in the last class, when I told about by the default permission of a file will be dependent on the umask value, right? So if I see this file permission now, it will have default permission, that is 66 and 4. That is called 66 and 4, right? I want to execute this, but I don't have execution permission, right? How I can execute? If I execute the simply See how you will execute a shell script. You can execute using dot slash. Why dot slash? Because I am into the current folder, that's why I give dot, and the slash give the test script name. Okay, and if you hit enter, it will execute. So let me start and let me execute it. What it says? It says permission denied, because I do not have any permission to execute the file. We do not have any executable permissions. So what we can do now, we can use chmod. We can give 7 means read write executable, 755 means give executable permissions to this file. Now if you see, we have executable permissions, and this folder color, this file color also changed to this, so that means this file now can be executed. Okay, now if I execute this file, see, it gave the output. It executed the echo command first and the command part. So it's very
And
simple.
date command.
Yeah, and the date command, it executed the date command. It's very simple. That's what is about the shell script, how you can create it and how you can execute it. Just creation and execution we learned, but there are many other things inside the shell script you have to write. So how sequentially you put everything, okay, how the commands you can execute, how the files how the values you can store by using the variables, what is variables, what is the special variables, how you can put these things in a condition, if conditions, we'll see how you can put in the if condition, then how we can put in the looping for loop, and how we can create this is all the basics. There are many things, arrays, functions and everything, but we'll not go up to that because it will take another 2 to 3 days or 4 days to complete all. So I'll just give you the basics about the shell script. Okay, now let me just open this file again. So what I did here, I just for okay, okay, vi editor. So okay, let me tell about something about the vi editor. So just open the vi editor using vi, the file name. When you enter, vi editor has three three forms, like one is command prompt, one command line command prompt, then it will be insert mode, three modes, that is called three modes. One will be command mode, then insert mode, then command line mode. Okay, command mode, insert mode, command line mode. So when we say about the command mode, when you open the file, this is our command mode. Okay, so in this command mode, if you execute any command, suppose I want to delete any simple character, I want to delete, suppose date e, okay, I have to press x, so it is deleted, simple x. Okay, if I type anything else, it will not allow you. Suppose I'm now pressing f, it is not typing, nothing is doing, because f is not a command in the command mode of vi editor. So if I want to entirely delete this line, I have to press double d. If I press double d, it will delete the entire line. If I do, if I undo, suppose I mistakenly deleted that, I have to undo the line, I can press u. Okay, I have to press, what happened, okay, I pressed u. So what it did, just undo whatever I had done. Okay, suppose I have to do, now I just suppose I am the beginning of the line, one of the lines. Suppose I am the, here if you see here in this line, I am the, my cursor is in the first character of the line. I want to go to the end of the line, what I have to press, dollar. Okay, dollar, then you can see my cursor, it came to t, right? If I want to go to the end of beginning of the line, I have to press the correct symbol. Suppose I want to write something in between d, in the, now I am in command mode, right? In the command mode, if you execute all this dd and x, and suppose you want to copy this line, what I can do, I can double press y, double y, then if I press p, it will copy. See, I pressed double Y first to copy the line. Then I pressed P. Then it pasted the line. Now I want to delete. This is now I am in the command mode only. Now I have to delete the entire line. what I have to do? I have to use double D. Deleted now. Okay. Now I just want to write something in the beginning, in anywhere. Suppose my cursor is on the D. I want to write from here, so I have to press I. If you see, as soon as I pressed I, it become insert mode. You can see here it displays one insert. Now I can insert whatever I want. Suppose hello, this is just this is display the date. Okay, and suppose I have to go to the end of the line. What I have to do? I have to if I press the left arrow, sorry, right arrow, it will go. Okay, but it is, see, I have to press 4 6 7 8 times to go to the end. Instead what I can do, I can just press escape. If you press escape, you will go from insert mode to command mode. Remember, command mode to insert mode, you have to press IOUA. If you press this, it will come to the command mode, insert mode. If you don't, if you press escape, then you will go back to the command mode. Now in the command mode, what command is required to go end of the line? I just told you. What command I should press to go to the end of the line?
dollar.
Yes.
Maybe.
So you have to press dollar, so you go to the end of the line.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now you can see here my cursor is the end of the line, and end of the line, and it is on the T. Okay. And I want to, if I press I, what will happen? From the, if I press I, where the cursor is, it will write from the left, right? So if you just I, then it will press here. So now it's a mistake, right? It should not be, I should not press I. What I should press here? I should press, instead of I, suppose my cursor in date, I want to write from after T, I can press small a. If I press small a, my cursor moves one to right. See, now my cursor is moved here, and I become in the insert mode. Now I can type date. Done. Now escape. I came to
Uh,
command mode. Okay.
there is
Now,
many things.
yeah, there are many things. See, VI editor itself
Yeah,
will take
many things real.
VI editor will take itself 2 days or 3 days. It has a book as well.
Yes, yes.
VI editor has a book as
But Tapan, you are the champ in self-scripting.
No, no, hey, hey, no, nothing actually. Hey.
well. And one more another.
VI,
Don't.
VI editor is the main thing in self-scripting. You have to write everything, and lots of things are there in VI editor.
Yes. So another way,
Uh,
also simplest way, I can tell you how you can write it, and you can cheat VI editor also. Suppose
Hmm.
let's,
But I have one. Okay, end of the session, I will ask that
yeah,
question.
yeah, sure, sure.
Okay.
And here, if you want to put, if you want to write in the, so because my cursor is the date only, right? So I want to insert mode in the end of the line. Okay, end of the totally line, end of the file. I can say what I can see this line date. I want to next line. I have to type. So what I have to do? I have to just I have to press O. So what it does? It comes O. If I pressed O, my cursor came to down, and I am in the insert mode now, right? So I can press here. I can write another command echo. I can say I am in. Okay. I can execute a command called pwt. Okay, I executed a command called pwd. We just added one echo command, and inside this echo I put one command called pwd, that is present working directory. And to execute this command, I have to put inside back quote, otherwise it will not work. Otherwise this double quote will treat as a simple text, and it will print only pwd. But if I put into this double quote, it will treat it as a command, and it will execute and display us the present working directory. Okay, now you understood. If I press hyphen o, means it will let me go down and type it here, anything if I type. Okay, if my cursor is in this line, I want to print something on the top of this line, what I do, press shift o, means capital O. So see, my prompt, it came here. Okay, now I put it there. What I have to do, press escape, command mode. Then what is command line mode? So far we learned command mode and insert mode. So what is command line mode? So if you press shift colon, you can see here shift colon, then it displays one colon, and here my cursor came to down. This is this line, right? This line is your command line mode. Okay, now I am into command line mode. Anything you execute here, it will be a command line mode you are executing. And suppose I want to save a file, save this file. So what you have to use, colon W to save the file. Okay, now my file is saved, but I am not out of this editor. What I can use, Q. Now what happened, my file is saved and I came out from the script. Okay, now what happens, and suppose you did some mistake here, and you don't want to save it, what you can do, just q not, q not. Okay, that means it will not save the file and it will come out from the editor. See, if you do catch now, so whatever changes we did, it is not here, so only date is there. So whatever the we type, it's not. So without saving, we quit the file, right? So without saving, so this is called WQ, means save, quit, and save and quit, WQ. And if you want to do without saving, you have to quit, you can use Q and not. Okay, you can, without saving, you can do Q and not, means quit without saving. That's very important. You should when working, you should know all this. WQ means save and quit. So I saved and quit. Now let me execute this script. If I execute this script, yeah, yeah.
Ranjit, this is called also escape mode, no? Something.
You can say now the escape mode. Okay, let me tell you. So
There is difference. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
so if you're typing this I, right, so you are in insert mode and my cursor is here in this up near to the top. And if I press escape, that is called escape mode, or you can say command mode. You just escape it, you'll go to the command mode. Okay,
Okay, got it.
okay. But if you press
Yeah.
colon, you'll come into the command line mode. Again, if you just
Command line mode.
yeah,
Okay.
again if you press escape, you'll go to command mode. Okay,
Got it.
so escape mode or command mode, you can say. It is not escape mode, it's a command mode only. Okay,
We
now
are a transition from
yeah,
one to another.
one to
Means,
another, because it
shifting.
is to escape from one mode to another mode. If you are insert mode,
Another mode.
any mode, if you escape it, you will go to the command mode only. Okay,
Hmm.
now when I executed this script, what happened, it is, you can see here displayed one command, it is executed, another command executed sequentially, and the next it is executed this line, right? Now let me add and did some error into the file. Okay, one more thing, suppose my cursor, you can see my cursor is here in the first line. How I'll go to the end of the line, end of the file, not the end of the line, end of the file, just press capital G, like shift G, shift G. See, I just came to the end of the file. End of the file is this line, right? I came into the end of the file. Cursor is now end of the file. Now I just want to go to the end of the line, dollar. Now my cursor came to the dollar. Now I want to go to the top first line of this one. How I can go, I can just go colon 1. So you can see here I am into here now. So in this way, once, see, this is will be difficult first, and until unless you practice for 1 month, you will not be your hand will not be free, and you will not move around in the VI editor. I'll just give you some tricky way, another way how you can write and cheat VI editor, but not, that's not always full proof print. Okay, so you have to be very careful. So now what happened? Let me just add something here, and suppose this is not a command. What will happen if I execute it? See what it did, as I told, it is interpreted, it will execute line by line. So it executed first line, then second line, the third line it has some error because this command itself not found, then it executed fourth line. We will be thinking, right, why it is did not find in it should be executed from here, exited from here, but not. But why it is not exited and it came to the fourth line? If you see it here, what we did, we just executed this command as it is sequentially executed. We did not specify anything to be done here. If the command not found, so in the programming you have to write a condition here. If the program is not found, then you exit or continue. That is again comes the programming. You have to put the conditional statements. Okay, now this is what we wrote the simple files. Now in date also, there are a few commands called in date. You can use how you can date, simplify it. If you want to see only date, month and year, you can just do within the single quote, give plus symbol, percentile D, percentile M, percentile capital Y. So it will give. And if you want to specify a specifier, you can just give the specifier name is, suppose I want to give hyphen and hyphen. Okay, what it will do, if you execute this script, see it gives the date as 12/06, and if you only date command, what it gives in this format. Okay, and date has multiple other format, other ways to do it. You can execute it, and the simple basic things I just told you how you can do anything. If you want to change it, if you can change it to delete x, right, I slash, then I can go backslash slash. So I just change the specifier. And if you want to do another ways to do that, you can do it like percentile D, and I just want to percentile B hyphen percentile Y. Okay, so what it will do, it will simply give in the month format. Okay, you can see here I changed the specifier to slash here, and I changed here to, instead of 06 it will give June. So why I'm telling all this, it is very it is, though it is very simple, but you have to learn how to do that, because sometimes while writing the script you need to work with the date, because you have to filter out some date of a file, and based on the date you have to execute some script, based on the date you have to delete some file. So you have to learn about this date commands as well. Okay, so that way I'm just telling how you can do it, and you can do more practice and on this on your own, to do all this, but basics how you can use the date in the shell script I told you. Now let's move on to the variables. Okay, let's move on to the variables. How we'll store a variable? Okay, now let's, in the simple date, I will create one variable that's called let me give in variable. I just gave a comment. This is a variable section. Okay, now what I am to write, I'm just create just give us today. I create one variable called today. What is today? So you can write xyz whatever you want. Okay, today, and I just want to give this command inside it. Okay, what I have to do, I have to put in the back quote, put this one, and then done. What will happen, the output of this command will be stored in this variable. Okay, the output of this command will be stored into this variable. And now, if in cell programming and Unix is a case sensitive programming language, anything, suppose here if you give any space here, it will throw syntax error. Let me show you the example. If I execute the script, it will show command not, okay, sorry, it says command not found, but because the today it treated as a command. If you see this file, if I gave a space here, so it treated this as a command, but today there is it's called to, there is no command like today, that's why it failed. So let me remove the space. Now today became one variable. Remember, there should not be any space between this equal symbol. Okay, today equal, then give the command to execute. And how to print the variable, you can just type echo inside this double quote, you can type today's, anything you want. Okay, today's date is, you can just type dollar today. Okay, what happens, when we declare it, we should not have give any dollar, only the plain variable name, and then while we are calling we should have dollar inside in front of the variable. Okay, now let me execute this. See, today's date is this. So what happened, we created the variable and we called the variable here. Okay, so this is how you have to create variables. So any doubts so far, anything here? This is the skeletal structure of if statement. So here you have to start with if and end with fi, fee. Starts with if, end with fee. It's very easy to remember. Starts with if, end with fi. Okay. Then as shell script is a case sensitive, whatever you are writing, you have to be very careful. After if, there should be a space. Then within this square bracket, both side there should be space. Okay, so if you don't give space and write the command or some logic here, okay, logic here, it will throw syntax error. Okay, what you have to do, you have to give a space this side, right side, and a space left side. So both side of the square bracket there should be one spaces. Okay, now I have to write some condition here. What condition? I need, just think about one scenario. Okay, this is how you have to practically, you have to think about a logic, you have to think about a problem, then you have to find a solution for that, and then you have to write your automations, put your logic and execute it to get the solution, right? So suppose a scenario is, I want to execute a code on particular, suppose today is 13th June 2021. So on 13th June 2021, I need to execute this particular code, or some particular time. Suppose I want to execute at 10 a.m. morning, I need to execute this code and deliver a report to the client. So what I have to write, so I need completely depend on the date command. Okay, so what I have to do, suppose let me first tell work on the date today. So suppose I want the work on the date. If today is 13th June, then I have, you have to execute this particular command. So how you can write it here, simply just go and modify this. Suppose okay, before that let me just write the logic. So suppose I, what I'll write, dollar today. Okay, so today, if today equal to hyphen uq equal to, okay, if dollar, I'll just, these options and everything are conditional parameters. These conditional parameters I'll just give you in the documents and everything. Hyphen eq is equal, hyphen ne is not equal. It's very easy English word to just remember, not equal. Okay, and hyphen gt is greater than, hyphen st is smaller than. Okay, hyphen g is greater than equal, hyphen ac is smaller than equal. So I believe everyone understood what is, if smaller than equal sc, greater than equal ge, greater than gt, smaller than st, equal eq, not equal ne. Simple. So what I have to just going to do it here, if today is equal to, right, I have to write eq equal to 13/06/2021. Okay, if today is 13/06/2021, then execute this portion. Okay, so what I'll write, echo today is, I can pass the, sorry, today is, I can just call the variable here. So that means if the condition is satisfied, what it will do, once we execute this shell script, it will calculate the date here, okay, and it will store the variables values over this variable, okay. But if you see here, we have given a format without having slash, but here in our output variable we have given slash. So just remove this slash. Now it will print the value of 130621. Now I'm comparing this value with the exact date. Okay, 130621. Then execute this. Else, if it falls, then execute echo um, anything based on your requirement. You can write it. So now I simply wrote a conditional statement here, which will comparing the system date and giving us the result output. Okay, simply just copy this. If you are working on the vi editor, sorry, working on the vs code or any kind of editor out from the unix script, just go to the vi editor. Okay, you should be in the insert mode while writing or pasting anything. You should be in the insert mode. So I am, suppose now I pressed I am in insert mode and then paste everything here. See, it is very easy. We pasted everything here. So in this case, what we're gonna, we don't have to remember all these commands to go and do edit. But if you want to edit small changes, you have to do some changes, you have to modify something better. I think you should have some familiar usage. You should know about some uses on the vi editor. You can quickly come here and edit and modify something. Okay, that will be easy for you. Now let me save this file. I saved it. What I can do, I can execute. As I told, I can execute by using dot slash and the script name. Done. If I execute it, what will do, see, so before that, what I can do, just remove this line. It is actually contradicting. I'll just remove this line. Okay. Now, if I execute the command, you can see it here. Um, 13 June, right? Today is 13 June. Correct. That means our condition is satisfied. This condition is satisfied, means today is 13 June. Suppose I change something to 14 June. What will happen? The else statement will be executed. The else condition, else part. Okay. Now let me edit something. See, I used vi editor to edit immediately or change something in the script. So it is very easy for me to do it. Right now, see, it falls. Now the else part is executed. We'll see next time. That's all. Now let's see on this. What we did here, we put everything in the if statement. Now there will be something like you have to put some time. Suppose we'll think about some type, how we can give multiple commands using the logical expression like and or, right? So for that, what I have to, suppose let me work on the time. So for this time variable, suppose I'm taking tim as a variable. I'm putting the time. Okay. So I have to again use the date command here. Date, and it can use plus here and then percentile symbol. Okay. So what I do, I need the date. Okay. So in date, if you want to see the times and the minutes, you can use h, small h, okay, and percentile, small m. Okay, what it will do, it will show you the time and the minutes of that. So let's do, before executing and putting everything, you should be sure what commands you are executing, you should be displaying it or not. Okay, now let me just copy this and go to the cell prompt and execute it. Oh, sorry, it's my mistake. It should be capital M and capital H. Okay, capital M and capital H. See, in this way, if you are not sure about anything, and what will be the output of that particular command and how you want to put it into the shell script, because if how people do the automations, can you tell how people do the automations? Normally the people, after seeing the output, manual outputs, right, if you don't know how a scooter can start, right, then you cannot automate that. If you don't know where is the kick, you don't know where is the switch and how you can do automate that switch by one click it will start. If you don't know how the ignition happened and where the engine and how it works, then you cannot automate the entire scooter. Similarly, if you don't know the output of particular command, particular program, then you cannot automate it, because we are entirely dependent on the output of a particular manual execution. Then after this manual execution, we'll come to know how it works. Then based on that, we can put everything into the script and write our own automation. Okay, similarly, suppose I wrote it here in a wrong format, and when I execute, I saw it is displaying me June 06, but that is not what I am looking for. I am looking for the time. So what should I execute? This. So it gives 0358. Okay, 0358 is the system time. So if I execute this, date, see here, 0359. So it is gives a UTC. The timestamp is UTC, so you can give 0358. Okay, so in date there are many other options to change the time zone and everything. So you can you can check the manual page on Google. You can find how to change the time zone and everything. Okay, now I got this, and then let me put this in my program. Just get this one, go there and VS Code, and put TIM equal to, and it should be under backport. Okay, now you understood. I got my date. Now I want to compare these two. Suppose I want if time, okay, greater than, I will write greater than 0350, greater than 0350. Okay, and you have to give and hyphen a is and, if you want to show or hyphen o, or. Okay, I'm just giving hyphen a and also there is another way to do. You can give double this one and this one, sorry, and this as or. Okay, double bar as or, but I will give a simple way to write hyphen a and dollar team less than 0420. Today is this, and I can write another command to execute. The time now, the time now, I can give the time. Okay, dollar two. Okay, simple. Now, if I execute, what it will do? It will just get the time here. This command will execute, and it will store the time into time variable, team variable, and this I am comparing here. If time greater than 0350 and time less than 0420, then execute this or execute this. Okay, now let me copy all this. Okay, go to VI editor. I deleted everything. Okay, to delete everything, let me show you this very useful command. Okay, to delete everything, you should be suppose there are thousands of line and you want to entirely delete, you cannot press double D every time, right? What you can do, suppose I am in the my cursor is in the end of the file, end line of the file, and I want to go up. What I can do, in the command line mode, :1, in the command line mode, just press :1 and hit enter. So it will immediately take you to the first line of the file. Okay, and from here what you have to do, press D. Okay, from here you have to press D, then capital G, D G. See, D G means I'm deleting from the cursor where the cursor is and the entire line. Suppose I want to delete from the fourth line or the fifth line. What I can do, I let my I'll bring my cursor to the fifth line, and from there I can just press D and G. So it can delete the entire line from the cursor. Okay, the entire rows from the cursor. Okay, now you understood how you can delete it. So now I delete everything in insert mode and then pasted all everything. Let me execute it. See, the time now is 4:03. Okay, so if you see here, if you execute this command, see 4:03, the time now is 4:03. So if you see our, we can see here we had given a condition, if this and if greater than this and less than this, then execute this one. So now you understand and get
Uh,
picture.
just
Yeah, yeah,
just just a small question.
yeah.
Why you are using that a
Sorry.
greater
Yeah,
than 350 and then you have written
less than
a.
and a. Okay,
No, less than is yeah.
and you're talking about this hyphen a.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
this hyphen a is for
This
and, means, so if you
and
have
okay and okay.
yeah, it is for and if you heard learn about, right, know about this logical operators, right? Suppose 1 1 equal to 1 1 0 equal to right, 1 and 0 1 1 and 0 0 false, like is that, like that you have to calculate. In case of and, okay, if you know this and operator, right, in case of and, if both side is true, then it will execute. Otherwise, if both side is false, then it will not. So suppose 1 and 1, if it is 1, then it will go here and then execute. See if it is true, means if first if it is true, yes, it is greater than 3 5, and then it will come and here if it will check. If it is less than 0420, yes, then 1 1 equal to 1, means true true true. If something here, if this condition is false, true false, it will show false, it will fall under else statement, right? If it is false, definitely if the first statement is itself false, it will not go here and check, because we have given and here. In case of and, if first is false, the entire will be false. But in case of or, if you give or here, if first statement is false, then definitely it will check for the next statement whether it is true or not. If it is true, then true. In case of or, it is false true true, true false true, and false false false. Okay, so that logical operator you should understand a little bit, have concepts how it works. But
Yes, got it.
so you got it right. Yeah.
Yes,
So
got it. Thank you.
in this way you can write the entire script. So now you understood how you can put it, and even you can write the nested if conditions. So let me modify this and try to add some nested conditions. Okay, so for nested condition you have to write, I'll just add it here, el if, that is called else if. Okay, give again condition else if, so I want to put else if dollar team, same thing I'm going to use, um, greater than, you can write Same thing 0 3 5 or you can see 0 4 2 0 or 2 1 2 1, okay, or greater than means 0 for 2 0, and I can mention here or, okay, or and team. I'm just giving you a different way how you can execute it. Or what it be if greater than 0 for 2 0, or okay, it will not work odd here. Okay, this is not suitable for to give or. Let me give another and here. Okay, and then we can give again less than 0 5 0 5 to 0. Okay, so the system, we have to wait for 10 more minutes to update, so I can just modify it up to give just 10, and here I can give 10 here. Okay, 10. What you'll see, the second statement, what happened, I just first compared if time is between this and this, then execute this. If not, else if time, it will falls under else again, the nested if, and then it will compare if greater than this and less than this, then execute this statement. Okay, so here we have to write then, because we wrote again if statement here with else if. It should be not like C language, we should not have write else if. In C it is else if, and here in Unix you have to write elif, okay, elif, then execute this. So you can write something here like echo, and this time is under 0 5 to 0 something. So it one question for you guys. 1 second, let me complete this and I can tell you the question. Okay. Okay, can you just tell me 1 second, what is this? Can you just tell me the scenario where we can write all this, a scenario, simple scenario, right? Simple scenario, which scenario you can put this if else if and else if condition. Simple scenario, if you can tell me, that will be good. At least I know you will understand, you are understanding what I'm telling, and you can put in your program, right? Where we can put this else if nested conditions. Means just one real time anything, any real time examples. Okay.
No, if you are checking for like multiple conditions, no, multiple scenarios,
Mhm.
so
Yes,
any that implies only multiple only.
yeah. So that's
But
a
real-time scenario, mhm.
okay. Anybody?
Means if we are using two three conditions in one scenario, means if this will happen, else if this will happen, else if this will happen, we can you can in this script also we can use else if two three times, more than two three times we can use it. Means in multiple condition scenario, we can use this else if. Particularly means the example is not coming in mind, but we can use else if multiple times in multiple scenario condition. We can use this else if.
Okay. In the cloud real-time example, suppose you are going to create two instances. I'm talking about two instances. Okay, one instance in Linux machine and one instance in Windows machine. Okay, so here I can just give a condition: if the machine type is Linux, execute these resources. If if the machine type is Windows, execute this statement.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
yes.
similarly you can write whatever you want, because that is what the condition and shell scripting is being used for. Multi uses, like multiple times you can use to reduce your resources, to reduce your time, and to reduce save your cost, right? one script you can execute with different conditions, and you can execute it within fractions of seconds. So that is one real-time example. Another real-time example, if you still think about, if you want to execute based on some particular timestamp, I want this report to be generated in between this time, then you have to write if, and in between this time you need another report to generate, and in between this time you need another report, in between this time you need another report. So what you can do, you can write four nested ifs, right, if conditions, and then you can execute it. Based on that, you can execute that one. Okay, so that's how it is
Yeah, yeah.
being done in the real time, if you think about. So now we understood this one. Now let me modify this entire script and put in the positional parameter ways. So what is positional parameters, or what is command line arguments? That's very important. Just try to understand. So I'm telling very basics, and it can you can easily understand, and you can put in your day-to-day scripting and automations, and from there you can take it further by learning yourself and doing more practices and more real-time examples. Try to do real-time examples, try to open Linux machines all the time, try to do whatever is it is. You may fail, you may get lots of errors, lots of issues. Go Google, search it, find it the solution, and do it. After you finish or fix the error or fix the issues, you'll think like you are 100% or at least 90% you are already into the self scripting, and you know how to do that and fix the problem, right? So now what is command line argument? Command line argument is something which will pass the commands or arguments in the command while executing a program, right? While executing a program, will pass one arguments or a parameter to the code, to the program, that you can see when we executing, right? Simple example. So ls is a command, ls is a command, right? Now we are passing argument called ls hyphen l. This is one positional parameter, this is one argument, or you can say an option, right? This is an argument or an option. So we are passing an option to giving instruction to the command to display me in the long listing format. So it will display me in the long listing format. Same way, we have to pass in our program the arguments, and based on our requirement, we can modify the results during the runtime. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. Remember the positional parameters, okay, or you can say it is the command line argument, or it is called positional parameter. Positional parameter. Okay. So there are actually 9 positional parameters by default, but you can add n number of positional parameters. How you'll add n number of? If there is, if you're saying like you'll say, right, if you're saying 9 default, then how you can add n number of? There is a way we can add n number of. Okay. So the positional parameters are $1, $2, $3, up to $9. So these are up to $9 are the positional parameters. Up to these 9 parameters, you can easily pass the arguments to a shell script. But apart from that, if you want to pass any further arguments, how you can pass? Either you can use, there is one command called shift. What it will do, if you use shift command in between your argument calls, what it will do, it will shift one parameter. Suppose it will remove $1 and it will start with $2, $3, $4, $9. Okay, then what will happen? We have now 2 to 9 is 8. Now 8 arguments, still another arguments we can pass it, so total will be 9 again. So this is one way, okay, and the other way is to passing in a curly braces. If you put in the curly braces and if you pass 10, this is called embedded arguments or passing, like 10, 11, okay, dot dot dot. You can pass n number of arguments. If your script is required n number of arguments, you can pass n number of arguments like in this way, okay. What is this I wrote here? So we can pass in this way. If you don't want to use this script, if you don't want to use this script, then you can go with this, and this is very easy. You don't have to use this inside your script. You can use this while passing the arguments and can access the arguments using dollar curly braces and this. That means you can easily pass the argument through command line and access through the script. Now we know what is this command line argument and how and what is this positional parameters. Now the thing is how we can pass these arguments while executing the script and how we can access this inside the script, right? That's the main point. Now let's see here. I'm going to create one variable here again. So what is this variable? Suppose I want to pass the platform. Suppose we'll take a real-time scenario of automating the cloud infrastructure, okay. So we'll see the real time here. Now if I am seeing here, suppose let me say the OS. I'm getting a variable called operating system OS, and here I'm going to add a $1. Okay. So what is this $1? The $1 is the first command line argument which I will pass to the through the command line. Okay. I'll show two examples and we'll modify how you can, and I'll make you master in this class itself. You'll feel like a master and you can write it do and go and write shell script. Okay. See, here I use $1. That means I'm going to pass this in my shell script while executing. Now equal to $1, and here I can just pass. Let me remove this. I can write OS, remove everything. It's not required. Okay, I'm just going to modify hyphen if OS equal to, okay, in the double quote I can put Linux, okay, if equal to Linux, then execute create. I'm just giving some example. I'm not really executing it. Create Linux machine. Okay. Now just remove this. I'm just showing you how I'm modifying it. Now I can just see if or else if OS equal to simply Windows. Okay. If equal to Windows, then create Windows machine. Else you can just give one error message. Please pass appropriate OS. Good. We are done. Now let's copy this and go to our test script. Delete everything. Put. Okay. Now what we did, we are accepting one positional parameter or argument and assigning the value to the OS is a variable, and I'm comparing this variable with this if $OS equal to Linux, execute my Linux, create a Linux machine. If it is Windows, then create one Windows machine, and then if nothing is passed, then throw one error. Please pass appropriate. So let's save it and execute it. Okay, now if I execute it, what it said, first thing it is, we did not handle the error, because error handling itself a big is another topic, how to handle the error. Anyway, it is it through the error handling. Okay, that's fine, just leave it. I'll show you that one also, how to handle this error quickly. And now we can say here we did not pass anything, so it displayed please pass appropriate, because we did not pass anything here. Okay, so here one more thing, interesting thing you have to learn. So here I have given hyphen eq. One more thing I'll tell you, this hyphen equal to actually for integer comparison. For integer comparison you have to give hyphen eq. Okay, for integer comparison. For string comparison you have to write here, equal to, this is equal operator. Okay, you have to use equal operator, and then you can write here, I can just execute it. You can use equal. Remember, for integer you can use hyphen eq. For integer comparison, as I am comparing a string with some characters, then you have to use equal. Okay, now let me just save it and go and execute this. See, it is completed successfully, because the error itself is says Windows integer expression expected. As I had given hyphen eq, that is why if you go and here say as I had given hyphen eq, but I have passed string, that's why it is given error. For string, remember you have to pass equal to equal to. Okay, that means this is your
So,
equality operator. Yeah, please.
so Ranjit, this Linux, why it did not give actually that line number, let's 16 here. There may
Yeah,
be.
because yeah, Linus did not give, because I passed only Windows. I passed only Windows. If I pass,
Sorry, I did not know. Got it.
so if I pass Linux, then it will give me only Linux machine.
It will go.
Yeah, because I'm just giving
Hmm,
instruction to create only Linux machine. If I don't pass
hmm,
anything, then it will throw error. If I pass anything else, like Unix, it will give please pass appropriate OS, because we have not checked handled the condition for Unix. We have handled only for Linux and Windows. So this is one real time. Okay.
ha, ha,
Now
hmm.
we'll see how we can handle another parameter, another positional parameters. Okay. So let me just go here, and what we'll see will another handle. So I just mentioned that region, because while creating the EC2 instances and the services of AWS, we have to always choose for the region, right? Which region you should go for. Now what I'll do here, just going to give the second parameter $2. That is the second parameter of the command line argument. That means in the second parameter I have to pass the region, and then I can give hyphen a. Okay, OS is Linux, and region is I can say dollar region. Okay, equal to I can give equal to Mumbai. Then then create Linux. I can mention for Mumbai location, for this location. Okay, else if, see how I am modifying this, just have a look this one. Definitely you will not understand beginning, but so if I am again another else, if I am putting else if Linux and region is Singapore, you can write and can execute the instance on the Singapore region. You can put, so create Linux for Singapore location, or you can see Singapore region. Okay, so you can see here inside this echo statement, I am just calling this variable. Okay, so it will display the output like Singapore based on the argument you passed. Okay, it will show display this one. Okay, now let's check for Windows as well. Same thing, how we can put for Windows, we can simply copy this one. Okay, put it in another line, put it in another line, and we can write it here. If Windows, Windows, and the region you can say as Mumbai. Same thing, I can do it here, and you can just create Windows machine, Windows machine for this region. What you can do, you can paste for Singapore as well. Just paste it here and just modify it to Windows, okay, and Singapore, and create Windows machine for Singapore region. Good. So how many nested if we did? Else if, else if, else if, else if. Okay, then else. Remember, starts with if and you have to end with if. In between, whatever if you put, it does not require to end with p. Only one p last is sufficient. Okay. Now, so we wrote it everything. Any doubt or anything you feel difficulties, please tell me. I think it's very simple and straightforward. Okay, so there is nothing. Now what I can do, just get this one everything and go here. One, and let me delete this and put it here. Now my script is now really increasing. Okay, if you see it here, I added few more lines here, few more conditions by using the positional parameters. Okay, now save it. What we can do, just now execute the script with Unix first. You see too many arguments, line 17, 21, 25, 29. So where is too many arguments? Let me check. So here you can just, in the command line argument, you can just give set nu. So you can set any value, you can get the number in the VI editor. So what was the error in 17 and all? So too many arguments it was giving. I'm stupid actually. Okay. I didn't handle, see, anyway, the error handlation is not done because here I am passing only one argument, right? If I pass Linux Mumbai,
Mumbai.
see,
Mm-hmm.
it worked because I I passed two arguments, but I did not handle it. That's why it was throwing too many arguments. Okay, that's the common issues. But if when I passed, I want to create Linux machine in the Mumbai region, what it says, create Linux machine for Mumbai region, right? So similarly, if I do for Singapore location, then it will execute and create machine for Singapore. See, creates machine for Singapore region. So now let me handle this error. This is sometimes getting confused, right? If you don't handle the error frequently, because if you are passing this and you are not handling the error, definitely you'll get lots of errors while executing the script. So better let me handle the program using the in shell scripting itself. How I'll handle this error now. So you can say here the if this is passed, then execute this, okay, or else execute that. For that, what we have to handle here, I can write one. So here it will be difficult for you to see because it is not getting first in one page. Let me write it here and it will be easy for me to write also. So what I'm going to do it here, I'm giving a check here. What I'm to do, we'll do a check. If condition again, okay, then, okay, inside then If condition satisfied, then execute this particular block. Else, I can write another statement. Else, if I ended with fi. Okay. Now, if now what you'll do, how many arguments I'm passing? Two arguments, right? So you should handle the error like the user must send two arguments. So how we can do, there is another special argument, it is called $hash. That means it will check the number of positional parameters passed. So number of positional parameters we are passing 2, so it will give us 2. Okay, hyphen equal to uq equal to 2. Okay, if there are two positional parameters passed, then execute this or else execute this. Now save this. Now execute this. See, let me make it look good. So I can just give one space here. I can just type echo just so it will give a line over here. Okay, extra line. I can just paste echo $. Okay, symbol. Okay, double quote, then save it, execute. See, I gave the two blank lines created here, one blank line and here blank line. So see those, please use the script like below. I did not pass anything, so it did not execute anything. It just simply told me, please use the script like below, right? So that means, and is giving me uses like, please use the script like this and pass one argument and two argument. Then only you have to pass here. Suppose I pass Windows and Mumbai, so it will show me, see, create Windows machine for Mumbai region. So in this way, you have to think differently and put everything whatever you want in the shell script, and that will be done for you. Okay. Now you clearly understood how we can write shell script. Okay. Now we are now familiar with this command line argument and all. So similarly, what we can do, we can pass n number of arguments. We can pass n number of arguments here, whatever based on your requirement. Okay, because this is how you can use the script multiple times, and because you don't have to hard code anything in the script. You have to pass dynamically the variable, the arguments through shell script, and you can execute it. So that is called multi-purpose usage of the script. You can use for multiple purposes. Okay, now you understood clearly how to write the shell scripting and all. So I was talking about the some so we are good with positional parameter and argument, command line arguments. Okay, guys. So anything else? Any? Hope you understood clearly how to write the scripts, and we learn really lots of things in this script using the statements, conditional statements, and
Yeah, really too much things. Yeah.
arguments. We learned it. So
Only thing we have to remember and I have to apply actually.
exactly. So you have to do practices. So today is Sunday. I would at least tell you give 2 hours, not more than that. Enjoy your days, but at least give 2 hours to do practices. Okay.